Hi, everyone. Let me know if you are out there by sending me a little chat and open the little chat screen and tell me what is good this morning. I'm super excited to have you here. We are on 9 o'clock, so we are going to get going. Hi, Robin. Hi, Laura. Thanks. Hi, AJ. Hi, Joy. Hi, Angie. Gosh, I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in so long. I miss you. I'm sure Dawn's out there. Hi, Dawn. And I'm super excited. So today, again, is a new topic, yet with very old tools. So we are going to just jump right into it because it is 9 o'clock on the dot. And again, I have so much information for you. So I am going to try and squeeze it all into 30 minutes. So thanks so much for showing up with me this Friday morning. I love to be here with you. So don't forget your sheet of paper, your pen, and have your phone on silent because I'm going to make you do some work. You know, I like to teach you the tool and then I want you to actually practice it because it isn't in the knowing. Well, actually, it's in two things. When we know better, we do better, but it's in the practice of it. It's in the actual doing of it. That's what changes the neural pathways and creates a habit. So today, are you ready? Dun, 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 dun. The 4 letters that will get you to success. They'll really get you through anything. Very, very popular word right now. That is grit. Grit. Oh my goodness. Everybody's talking about grit right now. So I thought that I would spend 30 minutes talking about grit, explaining it, how you use it, and then how you become a gritty person, which really is a good thing now. I don't know if it would have been a good thing before, but now it's so trendy. I want you to be on trend. So I want you to be gritty. So let's talk about really what is grit, okay? So the Webster Dictionary says it's the firmness of character, indomitable spirit. Daniel Coyle, who just wrote a book, is called Grit is that mix of passion, perseverance, and wait, I have my chat box open so I can't see, and self-discipline that keeps us moving forward in spite of obstacles. And Angela Duckworth, who really has put the word grit on the map these days, it says it's perseverance and passion for long-term goals. Angela Duckworth did a TED Talk, wrote a book, did a TED Talk, and really has made the word grit super on trend. And it's like, you know, I always want the PR person who works for kale, because kale was nothing. And then all of a sudden kale's everything and everywhere. And you have like kale chips and kale salad and kale M&Ms. Like, so I got to get that. So grit, Angela Duckworth has done the same for the word grit. And so there are lots of YouTube videos. If you just write in grit, they'll explain it. But here's just a tiny little section that gives a tiny little bit of what she says about it.
What was the biggest predictor of their success? She wondered, was it talent or was it effort? Now, our society would have us believe that it would be talent. We have the tendency to marvel at natural talent and overlook the importance of effort. Surveys show that we commend people who put in the effort, but we don't actually believe it can compete with natural talent. We often discount our own abilities when going up against people who have a higher IQ or appear more naturally gifted. But Angela has found the following to be true in study after study. Where talent counts once, effort counts twice. Angela explains this using a simple formula. Talent times effort equals skill, and skill times effort equals achievement. When you apply effort to any base level talent, you get skill. When you apply effort to skill, you get achievement.
Now, at the end of the day, you know me, I don't like big equations. I don't have to want to overthink it, but grit is really about effort over the long term. So let's keep going with that. Oops, here we go. I like this saying, no grit, no pearl. And of course, Aristotle, one of the original founders of everything and of common knowledge and of self-improvement, if you will, said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit, which is why it's so awesome that you have made a habit of coming here every week. Now, so I thought about grit and I thought, okay, well, I really want to break it down even further. So perseverance, and then of course, I love definitions. So perseverance is that steadfastness in doing something despite the difficulty or delay in achieving success. Patience is a big one in there. And so then I wanted to break it down more, like, well, what's the difference between perseverance and resilience and grit? So resilience is defined by an ability to recover from or adjust easily to misfortune or change. So resilience is really about recovering, and perseverance is defined as the continued effort to do or achieve something despite difficulties, failures, or opposition. So where resilience is just recovering, perseverance is recovering and keeping going and keeping going and keeping going. And grit is that quality that helps you keep going. But then I started to feel like I was in the middle of an SAT. Like, grit is to perseverance as resilience is to, and of course, I don't like things that are that complicated. So I kept listening, kept drilling down. And you know what we came back to, my friends? Mindset. My favorite, as you know, I just posted on Instagram again. There's me with the very famous, very brilliant Carol Dweck. I went and saw her speak at Stanford. And even Angela Duckworth breaks it back down to mindset. This book, if you do not have it, if you have not read it, if you haven't even just watched the TED Talk on it, just get the punchline, which you'll get in the next 5 minutes anyway. But it really is a life-changing book. It really is. If you can change your mindset to a growth mindset, it will impact every single area of your life. Parenting, work, friendship, relationships, mind chatter. It will change your life. So you don't have to, if you don't want to read the book, just show up here every week, because somehow there's some twist on mindset. And of course, if you go back, if you subscribe to the Happy Huddle, if you are watching this on Facebook or Instagram, go to my website, Happier by the Minute, download and subscribe to the Happy Huddle. It's all free. And this is the 18th huddle. This is the 18th half an hour. So trust me, there are 17 other great lessons that you can learn from. And lots of them include other tricks about mindset. So let's get into this. We're going to do a little pop quiz. You ready? Didn't know there was going to be a pop quiz. See, first SAT questions, now pop quiz. Want you to answer these. You don't have to answer them on the paper, but answer them in your mind. Number 1, if I have to work hard at something, it means that I'm not smart. Number 2, when I make a mistake, I get embarrassed. I'm horrified. I immediately jump to being mad at myself. Number 3, I usually quit when something gets difficult or frustrating. I give up. Number 4, there are some things I just will never be good at. Number 5, people are born smart. They're born talented. They're born gifted. They're born brilliant at math or law or medicine. Number 6, I need my work, appearance, my speech, my relationship, my children, my house, my fill in the blank to be perfect. I need it all to look good. If you answered yes to any of these or all of these, like I do a lot of the time, you are okay, because the most amazing thing right now is now you have self-awareness that those are all fixed mindset beliefs. Doesn't matter where you got them. We can go back to a past huddle to figure out where you got them and how to overcome them. Now you know, you can't unknow. Now you know what fixed mindset is, and now it's time to work on it. So let me define that a little bit more. A fixed mindset is when people believe that the basic qualities like intelligence or talent or being gifted are simply fixed traits that you're born with. They spend their time documenting their intelligence or their talent instead of developing them. Developing, really big. It doesn't mean you have to be good at it right away. They also believe that talent alone creates success without effort. Remember, effort counts twice. Effort counts twice, more than talent. It is all about effort. And grit is all about long, sustaining, patient effort. So growth mindset, which is what we want to work towards, you and me too. I'm working on this every day. I have not become so self-evolved. Growth mindset is when we believe that our basic abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. Grit. Brains and talent are just the starting point. This view creates a love of learning and a resilience that is essential for great accomplishment. Virtually all hugely successful people have these qualities. And so if you feel stuck, you probably are stuck with a fixed mindset, okay? That is like, once you get this and you start listening to yourself and you start hearing, am I having that fixed mindset, just checking the time, then you will know that, okay, I hear it, I see it, now you've become self-aware, now it's time to change it. So I like this picture, and I like to put who made that picture, but I found it on Google Images. But again, these growth mindset versus fixed mindset. The fixed mindset avoids challenges, but the growth mindset embraces them and says, I love a challenge. I've never, fixed a microwave before, but I will try to figure it out. Well, maybe not a microwave, but anyway, my husband and I, we put up the trampoline yesterday, and I have to tell you, neither of us are good. This is a fixed mindset statement. Neither of us are good at doing those manual labor that take thought. I mean, it really took a lot of thought of how you put up the poles and where you put in the screws, and we had to work together. And I'm telling you, we are both super fixed mindset and like, nah, can't be bothered, too hard, have somebody else do it. But we didn't have anyone else to do it, and the kids really wanted it. So we just stuck with it and said, you know what? Slowly but surely, we will figure it out. Do not give up. Do not give up. And we did it. We did it. We actually did. We got it up, and nobody fell off, and the pole stayed up. Anyway, fixed mindset ignores criticism, where the growth mindset learns from feedback and criticism. Look, I'm not amazing at this. I definitely get feedback, and the minute I do, I start to do the mind chatter, but I don't do it as long now. And now I can say, whoa, 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 hold on. What can I learn from that? What was my responsibility in that? Could I do that better? It's okay. It's okay. Failure is not a bad word. Don't worry about the F word. That's another huddle in the past. So go back and find that one. Intelligence and talent is fixed, but it's not. It can be developed. Fixed mindset people want to give less effort because they don't want to start. They don't want to try because they just are afraid they're going to do it wrong, or it's going to be frustrating. It's okay to be frustrated. Some of this is getting comfortable with discomfort. Ooh, 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 it doesn't even feel good to say it, but it's true. It's true. Fixed mindset gives up easily. They think they're a failure. They're threatened by the success of others, where a growth mindset is inspired by the success of others. If I see somebody who's doing what I want to be doing, and I start to feel the tinge of, oh, I wish I was doing that. Why do they get to do that? I just say, I'll have what she's having. Yep. Thank you, universe, for showing me that so I can clarify my vision. That's awesome. And the more success for them, there's enough for everybody. I know that the universe is abundant with success, and if they can have it, so can I. These are the words that you want to tell yourself. As opposed to, I will never improve, and why should I bother? This will take time, and it could take hard work, but I want to keep learning. I want to keep growing. I want to keep getting towards that success. So let's do a little work. So again, changing your mindset. These are really great steps to write down. Number one, learn to hear your fixed mindset voice. This is what we're doing. Now you know what those limiting beliefs, when they pop up in your head, you can label them. Once you label them, you can break them apart. So label them as, that is a fixed mindset. That is a fixed mindset belief. I don't know where it came from. I'm not even telling you to go to therapy and figure out where it came from. Just what now? Let's do something with it. So the second thing is recognize that you have a choice. I have a choice as to whether I believe that I'm going to be so frustrated putting together a trampoline that I'm going to give up and I am going to yell at my husband, which I might have done once, and he might have yelled at me, but we got over it. We said, we have a choice. We have a choice as to whether we just dig in and take it slowly and just figure it out. And then the third step is to talk back to it with a growth mindset and say, yeah, this is frustrating, but we will get through it. Yeah, it is a little bit confusing, but if we slow down and we have patience and we trust that if we work together that we'll make it work, then it will. So talk back to yourself. Say, yeah, this might be hard for me now, but it doesn't mean it's going to be hard for me always. You know, it might be hard for me to learn math, but it doesn't mean that I can't learn it. So, you know, one of the great words that has come up from all the mindset studying and research and discussion is the word yet. I can't do this yet. This doesn't work yet. I don't know yet. It doesn't make sense yet. We haven't gotten it yet. But then once you figure it out, we figured it out. And it is such a great feeling. So you need grit to keep going and to have that change your mindset voice to keep it going. And then step 4 is to take the growth mindset action. Don't just stop. Don't just tell yourself, I know I can do that trampoline if I just wait long enough, and if I'm really patient, and if I really work on it, and then go sit and watch TV. No, you got to actually do it. You got to actually do it. You got to do the hard work. You got to find the mentor. You have to do the studying. You have to put down the TV, put down the news. And even putting down news is hard work for some people, but it really is the growth mindset action. If you say to yourself, I can't give up news, I need to know what's going on, that is a fixed mindset. So growth mindset action is turn off that negative news. Okay, do I have enough time for another story? I was in an office, a medical office, late on Wednesday night, and walked in, and the receptionist was listening to a podcast of murders, like current murders, and it was like a forensic files, like, but on the radio, and why did they murder? It was a true story, and why the murderer did this, and what happened, and you know, and it was like, as soon as I walked in and I heard it, I was like, why is she listening to this? Like, why isn't she listening to some inspirational, motivational thing? She's here all by herself. So I went and filled out my paperwork, and I was listening to something on my phone, and she heard, oh, did they just say something about panic attacks? It was something super positive, and how, because I was having an MRI and I was trying to give myself a growth mindset about not being stuck in the MRI machine, and it was fine. I was totally fine. But anyway, I digress. And I went up and she said, oh God, I have so many panic attacks and I'm really struggling right now. I swear, I just get manifested into people's lives. And I said, well, first of all, turn that thing off. Why are you listening about murders? Like, you need to crowd out the negative with positive. Like, why aren't you listening to some inspirational things? And of course, I have a whole library on my phone, and I'm like, what's your phone number? Doot, 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 doot. And I'm forwarding her all these things. And she was like, oh my gosh, you're right. And she's texting me back late that night, like, wow, that was so amazing. This has totally changed. I really have been struggling. And of course, I'm telling her, change that to I was, but now I'm not struggling anymore. And she was like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. I just never even thought of that. So it's really just the tiniest little shifts, the tiniest little shifts. So I totally went off on a tangent. But again, the growth mindset action is not listening to things that are dark and negative. Like, you don't need to know why somebody got murdered in 1973 in a boat in Florida. Like, it's interesting, but it's not really healthy. It's not moving you forward unless you want to become a forensic scientist, and then it's a whole nother thing. But anyway, I digress. Let's get to some work, okay? Sorry. Here's your work. Is this gonna give me? Okay. Darn it. Okay. Let's do some work. This is some questions about fixed mindset. And I want you to write the fixed mindset sentence. And then I want you to write a growth mindset phrase that would replace it. So that's just how he is. I think you can change that to something else. What would you change that? What would a growth mindset be? If you're driving, just do it in your head. What would the growth mindset be of, that's just how he is? The next fixed mindset is I could never work with someone like that. The fixed mindsets aren't always about ourselves. They can be about other people too. So I could never work with someone like that. That's a fixed mindset sentence. It's a fixed mindset thought, and it comes from a belief from somewhere else a long time ago. We don't even need to know where it came from. Just change it. What would be the growth mindset sentence, belief, phrase that you could change that? I could never work with someone like that. What would you say that would be growth mindset? If you want to write it in the chat, you can, or write it on Facebook, write it on Instagram. Let other people know what you think it would be. And then your fixed mindset. I wasn't born with this skill, so it's easier to just avoid it. What would your growth mindset, how would you talk back to that with a growth mindset? Your fixed mindset would say, this is too frustrating and I am just bad at this sort of thing. Nope, just never been good at it. What would you say back to that? And your fixed mindset, I'm so stupid if I can't figure this out. I'm so stupid if I was wrong. I hate when I'm wrong. It's so frustrating when I can't figure something out. Those are the things that we tell ourselves, and what we tell ourselves is what we become. So it's super important to recognize them. And last week I talked about the rubber band trick, which, by the way, I have one on my wrist right now because I have a very fixed mindset about sugar, and I am trying to eliminate 100% of sugar, refined sugar. And so all the time I wear this, and I say, if I take my kids to Baskin Robbins, which I did the other night, and it's very tempting, and my fixed mindset is, oh my gosh, I can't live without it. I really want it. I really love it. I really feel so much better when I have it. I just snap this because it's putting a pause between that thought and the behavior of just give in. And I snap it and I say, no, I'm in control. No, I don't need that. No, I am strong and I feel better and I feel healthier when I don't have that. And I can have it another day when I really, really want it. But right now it's just an impulse, but I don't really want it. And it's crazy how well it works. It's crazy how well it works. That, and then some hypnosis that I got free on YouTube. So I layer in all these tricks, everybody. All these tricks I teach you, I do myself, and I teach them to you when I know they work. So I'll really quickly give you some examples. If you got stuck of what I would say to the fixed mindset, that's just how he is. Well, I don't know. How he is might be something that I can learn from. How he is might be dependent on something that's going on in his life. And maybe if I model a better way to be, that may not be just how he is. So let's have a growth mindset for ourselves and for other people. I could never work with someone like that. That one's super easy. I could work with someone like that if I want that job and I want that money and I want to learn something. Everybody is sent into our lives and we are all connected. So what is it that I'm going to learn from that person? If you go in it with that every time that they frustrate you, you will learn something new. And you just say, I can learn something from this person. What is it? I wasn't born with this skill, so it's easier to just avoid it. No, it's not. Just do it. This is too frustrating. I'm just bad at that sort of thing. It might be frustrating and that's okay. Get comfortable with discomfort and keep going. That's what grit is. I'm so stupid if I can't figure this out. No, you're not. You just haven't learned it yet. You don't know what you don't know. So that is a really great exercise. If you didn't finish it, you can do it again. I recommend if you get a fixed mindset thought in your head, write it down and then write down the growth mindset. So you're always practicing, you're practicing. Put a rubber band on. And if you have a fixed mindset thought, snap your wrist so that you pause and you really get your neurons awake to say, nope, here's a growth mindset and I'm gonna repeat it over and over again. So Here we go. Oh, a ton. If you just go on Google Images or Pinterest, if you just write mindset, there are so many great affirmations. This is a great one by a company called Big Life Journal. I love their stuff. They make this for kids, but gosh, if it works for kids, it works for us. These are all phrases we should have learned when we were kids. These are ones that if you have kids, please post this for them and then use these with them and help them. My son the other day was doing a video game and he was getting so frustrated because his handset, something wasn't working, and he was saying, I'm so stupid, I'm so frustrated, I'm so stupid. And I said, wait a minute, what's going on? Let's look at this, because it seems like maybe the handset isn't working. And so I looked at it with him and I looked at the two little buttons. I said, hey, look, this one looks different than this one. This one looks like it's stuck. That's why it keeps firing even when you don't want it to. Let's try and get that. And we did, and we worked on it, and we got it unstuck, and it was fixed. And I looked at him and I said, that problem was with the handset. You tell me that right now. And he said, the problem was with the handset. And say, the problem wasn't with me. And he said, the problem wasn't with me. It's okay. So don't always assume it's about you. So I work on the growth mindset with my kids every time. So that one was, don't personalize when issues come up. It's not always about you. That was a problem with the handset. And sometimes, again, the fixed mindset is, I'm just getting frustrated. I said, slow down. Let's look. Let's figure it out. And we did. Anyway, I don't have time to go through all of these. But again, keep these handy. Use them with yourselves. Look for opportunities to use them with kids or coworkers if they say something, or even the receptionist who you just run into who's having a bad day. Teach them new affirmations and statements that are things that they can repeat. Use them. Keep this in your pocket. I am on the right track. I can do hard things. Mistakes can help me learn. I am brave. I am brave enough to try. I improve with lots of practice. I grow my brain. I try different strategies. I can slow down. All of these things are so really helpful, and they're so really great. So keep them close to you. Keep them close to your family. So again, the 4 letters that will get you to success are grit. But of course, I really like to narrow it down more. And there are really 7 letters that will get you to success. And that is mindset. But then, of course, it really is a growth mindset, which then, of course, makes it 13 letters. And I was like, that kind of is too much. And I'm not sure people will show up for 13 letters that will get you to success. But now you know it really is 2 words, 13 letters, growth mindset, 4 letters, grit, whatever it is that'll make it stick in your head. Just remember these things, because a growth mindset, now you know, now you know, now you can't unknow. When you know better, we do better. And it takes practice. So keep the pieces of paper with you. Do these exercises often. These are the things, my friends, that are making us happier by the minute. Thank you so much. What do I have? 1 minute, 2 minutes to spare. Just to remind you, if you are watching this on Facebook Live or on Instagram Live, go to happierbytheminute.com and subscribe to the Happy Huddle. You can go back and see all the 17 ones before this. You can catch this full episode all for free, because I just want to deliver you these tools. I want to deliver them frequently so that you can be happier by the minute. And I am so grateful that you showed up, because you show up, I show up, and because I show up, I keep learning, and I keep making this a habit for myself. And so every time you show up, it makes me show up. And again, I'm super grateful, and I feel like we're getting so much better. Thank you, Angie. Thank you, Laura. Thanks to Sean. Thanks for showing up. Really, really appreciate you guys. Have a fabulous day. Mwah!